What's up, everybody? Josh Armijo here. I hope everybody's doing good and well and stuff. I got an album review to do for you, and I'm going to show it to you right now. This is the new album from the band Nightbringer, entitled Dominus Tuus. This is released on Season of Mist. Now, if you're not too familiar with this band, they are based out of Colorado, and the best way to describe the sound of this band would be a very occult, esoterical, and altogether atmospheric style of black metal. Yeah. Nightbringer are one of those black metal bands that take very high standards when it comes to their overall presentations. Musically, lyrically, visually, production-wise, this band is a band that definitely takes their craft and their work ethic very seriously, and in that process have delivered some incredibly memorable music. My first introduction to this band was their 2011 full-length entitled Hierophany of the Open Grave. I was just so mesmerized and stunned by that record. I loved the album cover, and I loved the overall themes, ideas, and just straight-out brilliant lyric writing. I loved the musicianship. I love the vocals. This is one of those black metal bands that definitely values their craft and just works very hard to deliver great music. Listening to that album only led me on to know more about this band. Their other full-lengths, 2010's Apocalypse Sun, which is also an amazing record. Their 2008 debut, Death in the Black Work. And even the split releases that they've done in the past, and more recently, the splits that they've done with bands such as Akarantas and Dodsengel. Both incredible black metal bands in their own right, but when being paired with Nightbringer, it just made for something incredibly special. Some really top-of-the-line black metal to come from this band. Now here we are with the fourth full-length from Nightbringer entitled Ego Dominus Tuus. From what I understand, it loosely translates to the term, I am your lord. And this is the first Nightbringer album to feature a brand new drummer. They've been working with a guy by the name of Menthor, who also plays drums for bands such as Enthroned and most notably Lucifer. He is an amazing drummer, and I was very anxious to hear how he would fit in for this band on this new record. It's 10 tracks, and it clocks in at around 71 minutes in length. This is the longest album that Nightbringer have done, but in addition to this being a very lengthy listening experience, this album really showcases how far Nightbringer have come along since then. I mention again that this is a band that takes their work ethic and their music style very seriously, and listening to the opening track, Prayer of Nafal, hearing the almost ritualistic sounding sermons being preached on that track, and then leading on for the next hour and 10 minutes soon after, it just goes into crazier, more in-depth territories. And after giving this album many, many listens, I've come to the realization that this is my favorite black metal album of 2014. There have been some really quality black metal releases to come out this year. One other album in particular, which I'll say later on, but this one has resonated with me far more than any others. From a musical and just overall listening standpoint, I just think this is the real deal. Nightbringer are as awesome as they are, and they deliver a black metal masterpiece, a US black metal masterpiece, I should say, and hell, black metal masterpiece altogether. The riff work here is something that shines brightly very much throughout this entire record. I love the way that the guitar playing is being handled here. I think it's mixed and produced extremely well. I love the way these riffs are being showcased here. A lot of high-end tremolo riffs, some incredible leads, just a lot of detail and hard work being put into the riff work. I mean, notably on track 2, which I won't say because I have a feeling I might mispronounce it, And then the track after that, Lantern of Eden's Night. Just some incredible riff work being executed on those particular tracks. I mean, it's just so meaningful and very powerful. Then you get to the middle part of this record with I Am the Gateway. It's just an amazing song. I love the songwriting aspects of that track and just the overall execution and just the overall delivery of the guitar. It just sounds so amazing. It definitely brings out the overall best of this entire record. Even the bass work is incredible too. I'm really appreciating the way that it's mixed and produced on this record. It's a nice warm tone. It's definitely suitable for this overall theme and vibe of the record. Very audible, very clear, not too overpowering, but yet I still think it gets the job done here. Moving on to the drums, I think I mentioned once again that this guy plays for Enthroned and Lucifer, and he showcases why he is such a marvelous drummer. He is such an intense person to listen to. His drumming style, his fast fills, his double bass, blast beats, just an overall total package sort of performance. He can play any kind of metal style perfectly, and I think he showcases his chops as a black metal drummer here for this new Nightbringer record. The drum work is just so sensational and marvelous. I mean, he did a really amazing job earlier in the year with the Lucifer and Enthroned records, but with Ego Dominus Tuus, he really stamps his mark as an A-level drummer here, and he just delivers a marvelous performance. Whether it's fast-paced or whether it's slower within some of the longer tracks that are on here, I think he just does a marvelous performance. And I think another thing to point out about this album is pretty much something that would normally be expected on a Nightbringer record, and that is the overall ambience and just atmosphere of things. Like, take one of the instrumental tracks on here, Call of the Exile. I think that's a track that just makes things move along just so smoothly. I love the way that track sounds. It just sounds so fearful and domineering. And then you get to a track like Salvation is the Son of Leviathan. It's just an amazing track, and just the spoken word parts that are on that particular track make it amazing. Even the usage of keys and organs being thrown on here. They're not thrown on here in any sort of lazy format. They are very well suited for this album. It's haunting, it's harrowing, and it just feels so amazing. And moving on to the vocals, I love the vocal attack that's being brought forward here. I'm appreciating the vocal performances that are being done here. Just the high-pitched scream sort of vocals, the lower register growls, they just sound fantastic. I love the vocal deliveries that are being done here, especially once again for this album's lyrical content and style. I definitely think the lyrics are very incredible. Definitely something worth reading along to, and just overall unlocking the stories and mysteries that are being told on here. I just think it's so amazing to listen to. So overall, once again, I consider this the best black metal album of 2014. I think this is such a marvelous listen. I love the songwriting, the lyric writing, the musicianship, the atmosphere, the ambience, the darkness of things. It is a dark record, but it definitely is very suitable for any fan of black metal. If you love what Nightbringer do, you'll fall in love with this album. I think it's amazing. And I should also mention that this is an album that I've been having a hard time trying to go back and forth with, because there's another really amazing black metal album to come out this year from the band Abigor, Le Motif Lucifer. That album is amazing too, and it's been going back and forth with this Nightbringer record. But I honestly think I have much more greater enjoyment with this new Nightbringer record than I do with the new Abigor. I mean, the new Abigor is great, but Nightbringer is where it's at for me. So if I had to pick any favorite tracks, I would definitely have to say track number 2, Lantern of Eden's Night, I Am the Gateway, Where Fire Never Dreamt of Man. That is such an amazing track. And the almost 13-minute long closing track, The Otherness of Being. It is an amazing, amazing closing track. So I'm going to leave you some links in the description box as to how you can get the whole of this album and listen to it. I will link you to the Nightbringer Bandcamp, where you can stream this album in its entirety, hear it for yourself, and be your own judge as to whether you think it's worthy of being purchased or not. It is currently available on a jewel case CD. Season of Mist releases the CD. I believe Demon Worship Productions will be handling the vinyl version of this. I do not know when it's going to come out, but I'm pretty sure the band will make you aware of it. So I'm going to show you the album again. This is Ego Dominus Tuus by Nightbringer. This is released on Season of Mist. This is mandatory purchasing, and I'm going to give this the highest score I can possibly give, and that is a perfect 10 out of 10. This is landmark United States black metal done by one of the most respected bands. I would say one of the most respected bands in US black metal. So support Nightbringer. I'm going to conclude this review. Thanks a lot for watching. Thanks for coming to my channel, and until the next time, Armijo out.